Welcome back to 2 Minute Tuesdays, where we talk about whatever I feel like talking to you about for 2 minutes. Today I want to share with you, I think, one of the most important lessons that I may have learned from a guy who taught me to do competitive hairdressing. I hired a guy, so this guy basically was #1 in the world in 1981, I believe, but I worked for him, and I worked for him because I wanted him to teach me how to be like really good at doing hair. So he would let people kind of hire him privately, but if you worked for him, he'd give you the training for free. So I worked for him to get that training, and we kind of clashed a little bit because he wanted things kind of done one way, I wanted things done a different way, and understanding that like we're all different, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. I said to him, I'm like, you're like a master oil painter and I'm just doodling with my pencil, and I want to learn how to do oil paints, but I don't want you to take away my pencil. If that makes any sense. He ended up firing me, so it didn't work out, but I didn't care. I wanted to learn what this guy knew, so I hired him then to teach me. And today's lesson is this. He said to me, he said, Matthew, you know, when you get into a car, what's the first thing you gotta do? And I'm just like, I made some answers. So now you tell me, when you get into a car, what's the first thing you need to do? I'm waiting. Go into comments below. Tell me what the first thing you need to do is when you get into a car. And you should answer it before hearing what the answer is. And then we're going to start our little 2-minute clicker and go. Ready? Bam! 2 minutes. So, the most important thing that you need to do when you get into a car, I was like, put your seatbelt on, close the door, turn it on, all sorts of different things. But the answer that he gave me is you got to know where you're going. And it's so simple, but it's so true. If you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get anywhere. And that's a really important lesson in life and in anything that you want to do. If you want to do something, you're going to have to go and do it. You're going to have to figure out what it is you have to do what you want to do, and then do it. Because if you don't do it, and if you can't do it, do you think someone else is going to do it for you? And I see this so much in reptiles, in like businesses, and in people all around me. You'll always hear people complaining about how they've failed, or how, you know, make excuses. That's the biggest thing. People will complain and make excuses for why they fail. And you'll never succeed if you want to fail. And when you make excuses for yourself, you're basically saying you can't do it. And if you think that you can't do something, that's right, you can't. But if you think you can do something, then you have to decide, am I going to do it? Is it going to be as easy as I imagine it to be? No, probably not. Nothing is. Anything worthwhile takes a lot of work. Anything rare is expensive because of how rare it is. If it was easy to come by, it wouldn't be rare. If it was easy to get, you wouldn't have to work for it. And so many people want a handout, and lots of people aren't able to really work for it. So the lesson for today is, I didn't even have my timer going. Okay. Darn. So that was a 2-minute failure. So just, you want to do something, go do it. And don't let anyone say that you can't. You know, you're the one that decides if you can or can't do something. And it might take you a long time. It might take you way longer than you thought it would take. But if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. There's no excuses. You can fail, you know. There's people in the industry that have had their whole collection disappear because they've burned down or other things like that. And then does that mean they quit? Lots of the time it doesn't. Lots of the time they get up and they do it all over again. You think about anyone that's won the lottery, actually, and I think most people that win the lottery end up in debt and end up with less money than people that don't win the lottery, because they take that money and they waste it. So you give someone $1 million and you turn them into basically a failure because they won't know how to deal with it. But if you take $1 million away from someone that made $1 million, they're going to be able to do it again because they already figured out how. Whatever it is that you want to do, wherever you want to go, whatever you want success in, you have to know what your goal is. Where do you want to be? And look at me and my little channel. I'm happy for every one of you that watches. I really appreciate you. And I'm not looking to be a little channel. I want to be a big channel. How am I going to be a big channel? By working and working, posting video after video, even if a whole pile of people don't like it, even if a whole pile of people don't watch it. I'm just doing it because I know that that's where I want to go. And I'm comparing myself to Snake Discovery and Brian Barchuk and people that are actually succeeding. Because why would I compare myself to small channels? Why would I try to be a small channel? I want to be a large channel, so I will be a large channel. As long as it takes, it doesn't matter. I got the time. So that's how you have to look at things. You say you want something. What are you going to do? Now go do it. Okay?